What's going on, guys? Geek Errant coming at you today with something a little different, something that I've been planning on doing for a little while and finally getting around to doing. It's a vlog project that I am titling Meta Musings. So, sort of, meta being examining from a higher perspective, which I guess that sounds a little arrogant, but it works for what I'm trying to get at. And of course, musings being just kind of philosophizing, if that's even a word. But at any rate, Meta Musings is going to be the title of this little vlog series that I'm doing, and it sounds kind of like Metamucil, so I guess you can look at it like fiber for your brain. But it's just a way for me to, I guess, have another outlet, another creative outlet, and to share some thoughts that hopefully will be helpful to you guys. So today's meta musings I like to call the bridge troll, and comes from a unique experience that I had today. Something that I'm grateful for, just because it's one of those random things that happens that you just kind of go, huh, okay, and then it gets you to think a little bit more. So today I went for a walk, and this walk took me, it was about a 30-minute walk, hour round trip. But the walk took me a few blocks down. It took me over an overpass. So I walked over the overpass, went to where I was going, and then when I came back over the same overpass, encountered an older gentleman who came about a third of the way, almost half the way across the overpass, stopped at the sort of center point of the oncoming traffic below, and don't worry, this isn't some jumper video. There's a fence there, but the gentleman stopped and faced the oncoming traffic and raised his hand and flipped them the bird. Just stood there, holding up his middle finger. And I mean, I saw this as I was, about just starting to come onto the overpass myself. And you have some of those typical thoughts of like, oh, what am I going to do when I get to this guy? But so he just stood there, flipping off the oncoming traffic. And as I passed him, I smiled politely at him, and he smiled back at me, still holding his hand up, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like it was nothing, like it was normal. And I didn't make a lot of eye contact, so I, didn't really get a gauge of, how sometimes you can kind of look in somebody's eyes and go, I don't know if everything's, all the gears are turning the way they're supposed to. I've got no impression one way or another of that, and that might not be the case, I don't know. But at any rate, so I passed this guy, and, he's just, extending his silent profanity at these strangers going by underneath him. And once I passed him, of course, naturally, I kind of, when I thought I was far enough out of earshot, started chuckling to myself just because of the somewhat absurdity of the whole thing. It's just not something you see every day. But then I started thinking kind of more about it. And actually, I started laughing to myself, not out loud, but just, kind of chuckling to myself even more, because it occurred to me that I just encountered an actual bridge troll. And what I mean by that is, firstly, the literal bridge of the overpass, and two, he was an IRL troll because he was using his anonymity to extend a form of, I guess hatred might be a strong term, but an insult to a bunch of people that he doesn't know, may never meet. So it was just kind of like, it's a real thing. But then, I started thinking even further about it and wondering what led this person, this gentleman, to the point that he felt like that was something he needed to do. What did he go through? What thoughts and feelings did he have that made him go, you know what? Yeah, F the world, kind of literally. And I don't know, and I'm not trying to speak to the conscience necessarily, to an extent, yes, of how we treat other people and how it might lead someone to that point. But following my, thoughts down the rabbit hole that they often go, it really made me think also about, the aspect of trolls, and I'm talking, internet trolls, and like I referred to, that using anonymity to fling insults at people. And I'm always the kind of person that believes that whatever you believe, the best way that you can invest your time and energy is to put positivity out into the world, whatever that positivity is. To be conscious of how what we do, what we say, the way I conduct ourselves, has what effect that has on the people around us, and the ripple effect that it causes. We are metaphorically that pebble, and the nice thing is that, or a good thing is, that we can choose what kind of ripples we put out into the world. And, negativity to me is something, you see negativity everywhere. It's where half the comedy and most of the news that we watch comes from. It's this ever-present thing around us. And I feel like positivity is something that takes thought and effort, but it's worthwhile, and coming back to, the gentleman on the overpass, using it as a metaphor, do we want to be that person who stands on the overpass and, insults any and every person that drives by that happens to look at us? Or do we want to stand on that overpass and change the hand sign that we give them? Maybe we can do this, or as dated as it is, maybe we can do this. Send that message, something so simple. And we have those opportunities every day in everything that we do, to do something small and simple, just to put positivity out into the world, to send a positive message to somebody else. Even if it's someone that we don't agree with, we can still disagree with them in a positive way. And I don't know, it's just something that I thought about today, and something that I hope maybe inspires whoever's watching this to consider as well, to take that second and try to figure out how you can make the small part of the world around you a better place in whatever form you can figure out to make it take. But at any rate, that's it for today. That was my meta-musing. So hopefully you find that helpful to you in your own walk of life, and I'll look forward to bringing you guys more content on the channel. I'm going to be getting back into putting more content in general. I've been out of the game because of life stuff, but expect to see more from me. Alright? Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.